Hi everybody, welcome to Crafty Studio. My name is AnnMarie, and if this is your first time joining me, thanks so much. Before I start, do click the little subscribe and the little bell, and hopefully you'll get to hear a little bit more from me. So as you can see from this thing in the background, I just wanted to come on and talk about Alva's communion dress. Alva's my daughter, for anybody who doesn't know, and she made her communion last May, and I decided to make her dress, and I have been talking about it for a while, and a lot of people have been in the shop or messaged me and been asking how did the dress go and all the rest. So I said, right, I'll do a vlog just about the dress. So my daughter has sensory issues, so I knew that I couldn't just bring her to a shop because she'd be feeling overwhelmed with going to a shop and trying on different outfits, and then the sensory issues with the outfits. So I knew I'd have to either, whatever I bought, I'd have to adapt, but I really did actually want to make her a dress. Oh God, it's so warm in here. It's really warm today. So I just basically sat down with her and we googled communion dresses, and she came up with a shape she wanted, and she was happy with that, and she was like, but as long as it's not itchy, it can't be itchy. So yeah, the sensory issues. So we came up with the idea of basically a very simple bodice with a little Peter Pan collar, and then she wanted a lace top over it. So the first thing I did, I didn't use a pattern. I took her measurements and I drafted a bodice block and made a skirt. So I made this dress. This was in a Nerida Hansen fabric that we had in the shop. And yeah, it's like thrown together. I can even see she was wearing it and there's a little seam after coming undone on the back, but I did pattern match down the back. I'm very pleased with myself. So after I made this toile, I noticed that the arms were too big, and then I had to adjust the neckline because it was too high, especially if I was going to put a collar on it. So there was a few tweaks I had to make, but basically I had a bodice block for her. The skirt is just a gathered skirt. Now, she said she didn't want that kind of skirt, which means that gathered skirt. She wanted pleats, which I was delighted with because I much prefer pleats. I think they look lovely and tidy and neat, and she said she wanted a big bow. So that was a definite thing that had to be added in. So firstly, the veil, I got her in a charity sale of communion dresses. So that was €5 and the money went to charity, so that was great. And she was delighted with that because it had a bow on it. And then this is her dress, the actual main part of the dress. I'll just show it to you. I did not do it in silk. This is polyester. She wore it once and it'll never go back on her. It is lined with cotton though. So I just did these are the kind of dresses I used to do for her when she was little. Very, very, very simple bodice, and then it's lined. So what I did was I actually put the collar in between the two linings and flipped it out, so you can see then it's lined in the inside. I didn't even tack that down, isn't that terrible? Zip in the back, and then I put these box pleats in all the way around, and because it's that polyester dupion, it gives it a nice bulk. So that was the easy bit to do, even though I hate polyester and it frays like mental. Really hate polyester, but I was not spending a fortune on silk. Like, I know people spend a lot of money on communion dresses, but like, she just wanted to feel special and look well for the day, and I wasn't spending like up to 500 quid on it. James's communion suit I got in St. Vincent de Paul charity shop. We went to H&M, I think, and he saw one, and there it was the next day in St. Vincent de Paul charity shop. So that's what he got. Now I did have to alter it a tiny bit, but I think it cost me a tenner. So then I made a little jacket. This is what took me ages, and honestly it nearly broke me. So I wanted to get lace, but I didn't want her to look very bridal, if you know what I mean. I know they're meant to be like looking like little brides, but I just kind of thought I wanted her to look young and girly, like suitable lace. And I couldn't find anything. Now, I did not get these from my shop. Full disclosure, I bought them from somewhere else because we don't stock this kind of thing. And I got Can you see it there? Now, this is not the finished fabric. Now, I gave the leftover fabric to somebody else who I knew was making a communion dress. I didn't keep any to show you guys. I should have, but I thought it's better to pass it on and someone else use it. So the actual Guipure lace, that lace on top with the lovely tiny flowers and has a scalloped edge, did not have any backing on it. So I had to sew that onto the fabric first and then make it. 2 layers of polyester did not like each other and just kept going all over the place. So it was very tricky. What I ended up doing was free motion quilting it. Sounds a bit mad. I used my darning foot and just followed those lines and darned it onto organza. So I was going to use netting, but it kind of dulled it down a little bit. So I used like an organza. Can you see it there? Again, polyester, but it's shimmery. She loved it. So I made a little jacket, and that was to go on backwards. So it was like the top layer here, and it goes underneath. So if I put it on top of this, like this, with the little collar over it, and then down the back I put little buttons. So I have little tiny pearl buttons, and I just use tiny ribbons for the loops. But the thing as well I did, because of her sensory issues, I bound all those seams. So everything's enclosed. Now I only used ribbon for that. I didn't make bias binding out of organza. Oh my God. I would have just lost my life. And I even, like, all the neckline is all bound. You see that? So, like, there's no raw edges at all. All this is all bound. Gives it a bit of stability, actually, to put the buttons on. I didn't want to put interfacing because you wouldn't be able to see it. You know, you'd be able to see it. It wouldn't be nice. And then the scalloped edge. It was absolutely gorgeous on her. But when I put it on her the, like, week before, it's itchy. Oh, my God. I didn't know what to do. She was like, oh, it's itchy. I don't like it. So my mammy went off and had a cry. I didn't know what to do. And I said, what do I do? Like, what's she going to wear? It's like on Sunday. I don't know what to do. And I was in absolute panic. And I realised I had like a peachy pinky jersey. So I made her a t-shirt, like a long sleeve vesty t-shirt, knowing that she's fine with cotton jersey. So she put that on underneath, put on the communion dress and said, yeah, it's not itchy now. That was it. For the win. So for anybody out there who's doing something like this, or is buying an outfit for an event and it's itchy fabric and they have a child with sensitivities, just put on the thing that they like to wear underneath. Like, I'll put in a picture of Alva. I'll put her up here. She had an absolute ball the day with her friends and everything. We were just so delighted, because this is now her 3rd year in mainstream school, but this would have been just her first full year in mainstream school, and she was sitting beside her friend, and like, it was, you know, she had her little gang of friends and everything. It was just brilliant. But she had an absolute ball at it, and really enjoyed herself, and she said she felt like a princess, and she was like, do I glow now? She was just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, doing that t-shirt underneath just saved me. You know, I was like, what am I going to do? She won't wear it. Like, what, we panic? So if anybody out there has a child with sensitivities, it's fine. You couldn't see it because it was kind of close enough to her skin tone. It was a roasting hot day, but actually it was probably good because it absorbed sweat then as well. But yeah, just put on the thing that they like underneath. It's fine. Like, nobody minds these things, you know. There was, I didn't see any other, obviously, I don't know, it's hard to tell, obviously, you know, me-made other communion dresses, but I did see a fab jumpsuit. I was actually trying to encourage her to do a jumpsuit, but then she was like, but what if I have to pee? So yeah, that was out of the picture. Yeah, so I absolutely love this. Doesn't fit her anymore already. Like, it was only last May. It's September now. Oh, maybe she can wear this as a little jacket, but anyway, how cute is that, the little bolero? So that was her communion dress. So while I was then going, right, I have to wash it and wrap it in tissue and put it away and everything, I forgot about the bow. I forgot the bow. Sorry. So the bow was a must. I literally just made, with the fabric by 2, curved the ends, turned it inside out, tied it on a bow on her. In hindsight, I should have made a bow that was perfect and then made a sash and then just like either Velcroed them on, because they just kept moving, so I had to keep fixing it for pictures. Anyway, it's done. So when I was kind of cleaning it all up and, you know, getting it ready to put away, giving it a wash, getting rid of the jam stains out of it. Yes, she got jam on it within 10 minutes of getting to the place we went to. Anyway, I found her christening gown and christening shawl, which needed a clean. So I gave them a clean. I used Nancy Britwhistle. If anybody knows her, she's just amazing. She has techniques of using eco cleaning. So I used her technique of getting things white using sodium percarbonate, and it worked brilliant. There was like dodgy stains from babies on the front of it. But I'm just going to show this to you because these are all going to go in a box together, and I don't know if they're going to get passed down, but it would be nice if they do. They might not. So firstly, this is the gown. My mum made this, and both my kids wore. Isn't it gorgeous? And she put little like elasticated cuffs so it doesn't hurt them. So both my kids wore it. Look at the lace, stunning. She bought that in a shop in Wexford. I think it's French lace. It's just gorgeous, and that shop's since closed down, so you wouldn't be able to get it anymore. And then it's cotton underneath, and so my 2 wore it and my sister's 2 kids wore it, so I'm going to keep it. Now when I took this out of the box or bag or whatever it was in, there was a massive yellow stain all here, but it's gone. I used Nancy's tricks. It's gone. She put Velcro on the back, very clever, because I'll show you the back. She made this little thing so it could be made wider if needed, because you just don't know how big they will be when they're being baptized. But isn't it just gorgeous? It's hard to see. Oh, wasn't it lovely? It's so cute. They were so tiny in them as well. Like, James was like 9 weeks old, and then Alva was a bit older because we were moving house, so I think she was 4 months old. But yeah, there's lots of slagging still with my nephew. My oldest nephew he's 12, who wore this, and there's a picture of him in it, and he keeps saying, "Why am I wearing a dress?" So cute. So that was the gown, and then I made this. So hang on, there's other bits in here as well. Oh yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, I knit and crochet and do loads of other crafts as well. So this is the shawl I made, and I did it in a shell stitch, but it's not it going around, it just goes back and forth. I absolutely love this stitch. Can you see that there? And on the edge I just did a double crochet. Well, I did it a double along, just to kind of, if anybody who does crochet, that's what you do. You do a double all the way around, and it kind of just tidies up your edge and keeps it nice and straight. And then I did a treble so that I could put ribbon in it, and then I did another scallop edge, and on all the corners I put little tiny bows. This is back before I had kids, really. I think I was pregnant when I did these. Yeah, I think I was pregnant when I made this, so yeah, I had time. And then what I did was now I can't find the little shoes. I had little booties, so for the girls, so I made a set of Mary Janes to go with a little bonnet for Alva. Oh my god, cutest ever. We'll make you broody, but no, we're not going there. And then for the boys, I made like boots, like little white boots, and then a little tiny hat like that, so they all match. So I'm going to put them all away. It's a pity. Do you know what? I think they were put on teddy bears, which is nice. And then just went missing or something like that. So yeah, it's nice still to have them, and maybe they'll get passed down. Maybe they won't, I don't know. Wishful thinking when I'm a granny. Yeah, it's lovely to have these things. Do any of you do that? Do you have like kind of family heirloom garments or shawls or blankets that are used in, you know, things in your family life and passed on and kept. I'd love to hear about them. Everybody has different traditions, but these are the traditions we do in our family, and it's just nice to still have them. So these are all going to get wrapped up in tissue. If anybody has any tips on how to keep them, stop them going all yucky, you know. I have been saving those little silica packets. Somebody said to save them and put them in the box with them. And I do have acid-free tissue paper, so I'll wrap them up in that. But any tips, honestly, put them down. I'd be so appreciative. I'd love to know what way. Like, this has gone slightly yellow, but it's acrylic, so I'm not surprised. The rest probably will do the same eventually. I did do the sodium percarbonate trick on it, but yeah, that's as white as I could get. It has a lovely shimmer to it. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's gorgeous. Anyway, that's my latest. I know I haven't actually been doing that much sewing this summer, but I'm hoping to kind of get back into it now. Classes are back and I kind of get my sojo back again. And I know I have a lot of things. I did clear out my wardrobe and I have a lot of things I need to make. I've, you know, decided what I need to make for myself. And I have to make a load of clothes for Alva. But James, no, black. Everything's black and it has to have some sort of label on it. Good luck. That time has passed. Maybe he'll come back to me in a few years and make me a shirt or whatever. But yeah, that's gone. That ship has sailed. Anyway, thanks for listening to me go on and talk about sewing, and I shall chat to you all again soon. Bye bye.